Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Yeonni. Surprise, I know it's a Saturday, but I wanted to really make a video today because it is one of the most, if not the most important days of the year. October 10th, 2020 is World Mental Health Day as designated by the World Health Organization. Today is a very important day because it's a day that we focus on the importance of conversations on mental health awareness and advocacy. And obviously, someone being in the mental health field, my passion is talking about mental health and how important it is to have these conversations. So I had to make a video today. 2020 has been greatly affected by this global pandemic of the coronavirus. I've made countless videos on how the pandemic affects our mental health. I will link those down below if you are interested, but let me just tell you, it affects our mental health in every way possible. Whether if you've already had pre-existing mental health conditions, it can lead those symptoms to worsen, or a lot of people have been experiencing new symptoms of mental health illnesses like anxiety and depression that comes with a global pandemic. We are going through very serious times right now, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to come on my channel and raise awareness, bring awareness to this wonderful day where we talk about mental health awareness and advocacy. I mean, we should be talking about this every day, but this is a start as well. So for my video today, I wanted to talk about the 10 best mental health tips and advice that I feel like I've gathered throughout the years, whether I've read these things from a book, whether someone has said this to me, whether I've heard it in a lecture, or a client has told me this while in practice. I have 10 that I feel like have really changed my life for the better, and I want to share those with you. So let's get straight into the video. Number 1. Self-care is not selfish. A lot of the times when it comes to the words mental health, self-care tends to come very closely behind. We're like, oh, are you doing self-care? Like, what are you doing to do self-care? And I don't know why, maybe it's the society we live in, but a lot of the times I feel like self-care might make us feel like we're being selfish. However, I'm here to let you know there is nothing selfish about taking care of yourself. You come first before everything else, especially when it comes to taking care of your mental health. I can definitely attest personally, I'm sure you can too, whoever you are watching, when you are trying to accomplish anything, whether it is getting a dinner out with a friend, which is very difficult during the coronavirus, but you know what I mean, going out to see a friend, finishing up a paper, finishing up a day at work, when you are mentally not well, whether you're expressing sadness or anger, when something about your emotional wellness is off balance, it's impossible to fully concentrate on a task that you're doing, right? That is important because you need to take care of yourself and your mental health, and that's not selfish. That is important. That is prioritizing your health. If our leg is broken, we're not going to be running off doing some other errand for someone else first. We have to take care of our leg first, right? There's always this different way that we treat mental health as if it is lesser than or not as important as our physical health, but I'm here to let you know mental health is just as, if not even more important when it comes to taking care of yourself. So self-care, taking care of yourself, is not selfish whatsoever. Second thing, prioritizing your mental health does not mean you are rejecting your parents, does not mean you are rejecting your culture, does not mean you are rejecting your community. Let me speak from personal experience. Being an Asian American, especially an Asian American person in a mental health field, conversations on mental health are not easy to have when it comes to trying to talk to my parents, trying to talk to my community. I can't really speak for anyone else in other communities, but I know for a fact that talking about mental health can make us feel alone a lot of the times. It can make us feel like we're going against the tide, where maybe in your community you don't talk about mental health. Maybe in your community that is considered weak, or things that you should just keep to yourself and not talk to other people. And I'm here to let you know that no matter what people might say to you, maybe they think it's what's best for you to tell you these things. People might tell you that prioritizing your mental health is going against the tide of your community or whatever, but it's not true. At the end of the day, your community, your parents, I assume they want what's best for you. I assume they want you to be happy, to be well. And taking care of your mental health is the number one way to take care of yourself, making sure you're well, making sure you're healthy, making sure you're living a fulfilled life. Number 3, it's okay to not be okay. I say this to myself all the time because I would like to say generally I'm a very positive person. I love being a positive person. I'm the person who likes to think the cup is half full most of the time. But That's the thing. I'm a person, I'm a human being, and there are days when I am very sad. Sometimes there might be triggers. Sometimes there's no reason at all why I'm sad, but I just am. Some days I'm just angry and frustrated and irritable, and you know, it's okay to feel that way. A lot of the times we might feel some sort of shame in admitting that we're not okay. I'm here to let you know it's okay to not be okay. On days that you're not feeling well, it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to take some time for yourself. Close that book, close that laptop, call in for a mental health day at work if that's possible. It's okay to take a day for yourself if you're not well. And it's okay to not be okay. And that leads to the next one, which is it's okay to say you're not okay, right? So it's okay to be not okay is different from it's okay to say that you're not okay. A lot of the times when we're catching up with people, I feel like my first tendency to be like, oh, I'm fine. I'm good. What about you? And we kind of like immediately get the attention off of us and onto someone else. And I want to be here to let you know that people in your community, in your circles, should care about how you really are doing. If you are constantly feeling like you have to hide how you're really feeling and what you're really going through, whether you're talking to your family or your friends or people in your inner circle, I think that is something to really sit and think about. If you have to be fake, if you have to conceal your true emotions in front of the people that allegedly are the closest to you, then where can you go to let out your true inner feelings? Is it not these people in your inner circle? I want to tell you that it's okay to tell people that you're not okay. And those people who really do care about you, who say that they really care about you, should care about you, they should be there for you during the highs and during the lows. And if that's not the case, find people that will support you when you're on the up and up, and that will also support you and be there for you even harder when you're on the ground, when you're really not doing well. Trust me, I've had a plethora of relationships in my life, friendships, romantic relationships, whatnot, even family relationships at times where I've had to make tough decisions where I'm like, this relationship is not fulfilling. Let's say I'm just there for the other person all the time, but they won't take the time to really listen to how I'm doing. And I'm happy to say that I've made some tough decisions when it comes to my friendships. However, at the end of the day, they were all the right decisions because I wanted to have people around me that I knew would be there for me, that would have my back. Most of the time, you're doing better than you think you are. Once again, I can attest to this personally. I am my worst critic, and I'm sure there are some of you out there who are watching this who feel the same way. We can start to pick ourselves apart even before anyone else has a chance to. A lot of the times, like I wake up, I don't feel like I'm pretty enough. I don't feel beautiful because of societal standards because I've been on Instagram way too long the night before. You know what I'm talking about. And then sometimes I just see myself in the reflection. I'm like, I don't look that bad today. Like, why did I feel like, I don't know, like, why did I feel like my double chin was like extra today? Why did I feel blah, 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 blah? And then I realized there are all of these unhealthy standards and expectations that I started honing and hearing as my own voice. And then I realized I'm not that bad. Like, I'm doing a good job. And I think this is important because, like I said, a lot of the times we pick at ourselves first and so much more than anyone else in our life. So that's definitely something to think about. But next tip or advice is it is really, really important to listen to your body. There's a book that I always recommend. I'll pop it up right here. The Body Keeps the Score. Even before I read this book, but especially after I read this book, I came to learn how important it is to listen to our bodies. A lot of the times, our deeper feelings and traumas manifest in our bodies, and it is very, very important to listen to our gut feelings, listen to how our body is feeling. In case you didn't know, there's a lot of movement therapy and dance therapy and creative arts therapy that include actually physically moving your body. And many, many patients who have struggled with years of PTSD and trauma and depression, anxiety have been able to feel a lessening of their symptoms just by moving their bodies. And that's how important it is that sometimes when we get a gut feeling, we say that, right? Or like a conscious or something about this doesn't feel right, something about this I don't know, something's off, it is really important to listen to your body, not even in just like the physical sense, are you doing well with your physical health, but our emotions and our body are much more deeply connected than we understand. So something that is going on up here, our body could be trying to let us know. The next tip that was really, really important to me growing up that I really didn't learn as a kid and as a young person is that no one deserves access to you. That tip/advice is on the importance of boundaries. We live in this society where, whether it's through social media, whether it's your family or friends or coworkers, the community that you live in, we are always interacting with people, right? It's impossible for us to live in complete isolation, right? We're always impacted by the influence of other people. And I wish someone had told me at a young age that boundaries, on how important boundaries are in my life, and that the feeling of safety and comfort of my own self and body comes first before anything else. And that is extremely important. Boundaries exist for a reason, and everyone's boundaries are different. What you feel comfortable with, what you feel safe with, will probably look completely different from anyone else down the street, from maybe anyone in your friend group, maybe anyone even in your family. That is why it is extremely important to have conversations on the importance of boundaries, whether in friendships or family groups or in even romantic relationships, because if you're uncomfortable, that's that. If you don't feel safe, that's that. And if you're surrounded by people who love you and care for you and really do care about your well-being, they should respect that. No one deserves to overstep your boundaries. No one deserves to gain access to you in a way that you feel uncomfortable. And that's extremely important, extremely important. Your mistakes do not define who you are. How you respond to those mistakes do. This is important because we are human beings. A lot of the times I feel like we can be weighed down for months, years of our lives with guilt and shame for maybe things we might have done in the past. And yeah, I agree with you. I've had those times too. I've made terrible mistakes in my past. I'm a human being. There are things where I'm like, I really wish I didn't say that. I really wish I didn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. But what's important is we have to acknowledge as human beings, we're not perfect. We are going to make mistakes. We're going to keep making mistakes, but we can't let that define who we are. It's important to realize that how we respond to these mistakes is what defines us. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, the same one, you're not learning from anything, that is a response to your mistakes. A lack of a response is also a response. So that could define you, but you do something, you learn from it, you grow from it, you don't do it again. That is where the highlight should be, that you've grown from your mistakes. I've definitely had those moments in life where I felt so down because I was like, what's the point of anything when I've made X, Y, and Z mistakes? And life is too short, I think, to get so muddled down in those kinds of feelings. And it is important for us to keep going. It's always this action of moving forward that is really important to our mental health and self-growth. And that kind of leads to this next one, which is, it is very, very important to forgive yourself. A lot of the times I feel like we could maybe forgive other people more easily than we can forgive ourselves. And that could come from the way we see ourselves, our self-love, how we view our identity, how our cultures may have shaped us to treat ourselves in a way. But I feel like there just isn't enough emphasis on forgiving ourselves. Like I said before, humans make plenty of mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. But also I've had to take the time to sit down with myself and forgive myself for those mistakes that I've made so that I can move forward. You, as much as anyone else in the world, deserve forgiveness. And last but not least, I think this is the 10th one. This is very important. This is my entire life work. I think if I can make anyone I talk to or interact with feel this way, then I can say that I've lived a fulfilled life. And I want to tell you that you are worthy, that you are worthwhile, that you deserve love and fulfillment and happiness and peace as much as anyone else in this world. You're not a burden on other people's time and other people's efforts and love. You are deserving of all these things. And that is a belief that I have personally for anyone that I come across in my life, anyone that I see walking down on the street. Every single person on this earth, I believe, wholeheartedly deserves love, fulfillment, happiness, and peace. Those were my 10 best mental health tips, advice that I feel like I've gotten throughout the years or that I've come to realize over the years. I hope any one of these were helpful to you in any way. I'm so passionate about sitting here and just speaking to you on how important your mental health is, and so by translation, how important it is for you to take care of yourselves every day. And I'm really glad I got this opportunity to sit down and really share with you these tips that I hold with me near and dear every single day of my life. And now to finish off this video, I want to ask you a question. Please let me know in the comments down below, what does mental health mean to you? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Is it a situation that happened? Is it something that you're going to do for yourself? Is it self-care? And if it is self-care, what are you doing, like concretely? Is it going to bed earlier? Is it finding a therapist? Mental health for me means self-love, loving myself for who I am with all of my flaws, and also mental health means a voice. Look at me, I'm on this platform speaking to you with my voice. Mental health to me is a voice, and it is very, very important because a lot of the times there's so much negative stigma and misinformation out there that makes those struggling with mental illnesses feel like they don't have a voice, feel like they cannot speak out, or even if they make them feel like they're screaming into a void and no one's listening. So to me, this mental health day and the concept of this embracing of mental health advocacy and awareness is that we are giving people a voice, and that is so important to me. So important. I feel like my heart could burst with how passionate I am about the topic of mental health and how much I love Mental Health Day. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Happy World Mental Health Day, October 2020. We need this kind of positive reinforcement in such a crazy year that we're having this year. I will be linking all sorts of resources from the World Health Organization in my description box down below, as well as pinned in the comments. Please be sure to answer my question, what does mental health mean to you? And yeah, I hope you're taking care of yourselves emotionally, mentally, physically. I hope you're doing well. I'm sending you all positive vibes, all strength and love and support on this beautiful day that we call Mental Health Day. And yeah, I think I said everything I want to say. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.